So as I told you, we can pay either directly to the recipients, or we can pay through Bayt al-Mal, which is the government. The government can take the money and can distribute them or pay them to the recipients. Okay. Concerning the sources of zakat, as I told you, the sources of zakat is anyone who has the minimum wealth of around 2,500. He is obliged to pay al zakat, and it is an obligation. It is not like I like or I don't like. This is the main issue, that it is an obligation by God to pay al zakat. And also previously, unfortunately now, it's not applied by force in the Islamic states where they are applying al zakat. But before, any person who does not apply al zakat was obliged to pay it by force, and there was a penalty, half of his wealth as a penalty if he did not pay al zakat, because it's what for the leader is a very important issue. So the historical point of view I have mentioned, the sources of zakat are, as I told you, any person. Also, there is important point also before I work at. For the person who has a wealth, he has a minimum level to pay the zakat. It happens that not all persons have wealth in money. Oh, sorry. Thank you. So some person happens that they have wealth, for example, in agricultural crops and anything else, in gold and silver, I don't know. So they are obliged to pay al-zakat from what they have. They do not wait until they convert it into money. They have to pay it from what they have, from their holding. Also, one important point is the period when we have to pay al-zakat. The period of zakat should be paid yearly, once per year. The fault, the mistakes that were making by many Muslims is that they pay al-zakat during the month of Ramadan, because it's a holy month. They pay al-zakat without any calculations. They don't calculate their wealth. As I said, we have to calculate what we have, and we have to deduct all what let us have accepted life. And also, if you have some payments to others, we have also to deduct them. Okay? So, the mistake by most Muslim people is they do not calculate such, they do not make such calculation. Second, they pay it during Ramadan, during the month of Ramadan. So they do not pay the whole, they don't know even what is the amount they have to pay. And also they do not wait one whole year. The payment of zakat, we should wait one whole year. For example, one Christian year, no problem. One whole year, and at the end we should pay al-zakat. It means we have to pay it yearly. Okay? And the whole amount which is due, we should pay it. But it's possible that we don't pay it immediately. We don't have, for example, if we don't want to pay to government, we are not obliged to pay to government. If we don't pay it, the problem is that we should know. So, for example, we have $10,000 at zakat. We can keep it aside, and we have to pay them step by step. This is that we should set them aside, not mix them with a new wealth. This is the problem. So this is concerning the payment of al-zakat. I want to mention the disbursement categories, which are very important. This is the main issue in payment al-zakat. Al-zakat disbursement categories, as I told you, and this is mentioned in very clearly in the Quran. I will read it. There are 8 categories of the beneficiaries of al-zakat which God specifies in the Quran. First, zakat also means the alms or charity. The alms are for al-fuqara, the poor people. Al-masakin, which means the needy. And the difference between the poor and the needy is that the poor begs to give him money. The needy needs money, but he don't tell. You should know that this person needs money. You should give him without telling, because some people have the dignity, they don't tell, but they need money. The third category is in Arabic, al-amilin alayha, or in English, those who collect the al-zakat. The zakat collectors, the government pay from the proceeds of zakat to them, okay? Because the purpose of this is that this zakat procedure should be completely independent of the government tax. So even the people who work to collect the zakat, who administer zakat, will be paid from the proceeds or for the source of zakat. Fourth, we have the, I will not tell it in Arabic, those herds who are to be reconciled. You have some people, for example, who are willing to be in Islam, but they are somehow hesitating. So maybe you can support them in order to let them enter Islam. Fifth, firriqab in Arabic, in English, for the freedom of those who are captives. For whenever we have captives or prisoners of war, whatever, so also we can use the proceeds of zakat to free such people. Six, this is very important, al-ghalimun in English, those who are in debt. People who are in debt. For example, if some people try to make a business project and they fail, they get bankrupt. So Islam imposed on rich people to help such people who are in debt. Maybe in debt it be either personally, for personal reason, personal business project, or maybe sometimes in debt if there is, as in the past, a problem between two parties. A third party comes in order to intervene, to pay some amount of money in order not to have blood, not to have any disputes. So also this people should be helped, which is those people who are in debt. Seven, we have for fi sabilillah, or in English, for the cause of God. For the cause of God means when we have people who travel from one country to another in order to spread the Islamic teachings, or in order to go to study, even not Islamic studies, any studies abroad, and he is in need of money to continue his studies. He has some problems, financial problems, so also we can help him through the zakat proceeds. And finally, we have Ibn Sabils, or the wayfarers, also a person who is lost outside his country. He has problems, he cannot get back. He had an accident, I don't know, health accident, for example. So also we can help him to get back to his country. So these are the 8 disbursement categories of al-zakat, and they are mentioned specifically in Al-Quran in order to be paid only for those 8. So it's not allowed by the government who gets the sources of zakat, who collects the zakat, to pay only to those 8 disbursement categories. They are not allowed to pay to any other category, just such 8 categories.